The Fast Food Podcast.
Blessings to all the Fast Food Podcast supporters. We're here for you. Yeah. This news came very, 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 very suddenly. Mm-hmm. When did you get the news?
I believe it's kicked off Friday.
Early Friday, no, late Friday.
Late Friday, yeah.
Early Saturday morning.
Mm-hmm. I got the news on Clubhouse.
Right.
Someone actually just came in to one of the rooms and goes, DMX is, first of all, said dead. And I was like, here we go. Not today. DMX of all people.
Not Good Friday.
No, it can't
Easter
be.
weekend.
Instantly, I obviously went and did some research, went on the Twitters, went on the thing, and I, even though it's not good news, it was better news than what I originally heard
In Clubhouse.
Which is that at the time he was on life support, had a heart attack.
Yep.
And they're just trying to obviously save his life at that time. Is there any news? Fast forward, because we are now. It is now Wednesday,
Yeah.
and yeah, I just wanted to see if there was anything that we.
So the most recent thing we've had, thanks to our people over at Hot 97, the home of hip hop and R&B. Right. So this is what they're saying. All right. Let's take it back from the TOP. All right. So someone is actually outside of the hospital reporting for Hot 97. So they work for Hot 97, and they're actually outside the hospital because we definitely need clarification of the situation because there's a lot of conflicting stories going about. You know, it's like when the name pops up on Twitter trending, straight away you think the worst thing, right? So there's been a lot of conflicting stories in regards to DMX's state of health. And yeah, so this is an update.
Everybody, I'm here outside of White Plains Hospital. You can see some of the members of the Rough Riders behind me. They rolled in here, a very powerful tribute right in front of the hospital. This is the front of the hospital. To pay tribute to DMX and also to offer prayers. And I just want to set the record straight about a couple of things. There is an unauthorized statement from a supposed family member that is circulating that a real family member who I know is very close to DMX, who I spoke with here privately at the hospital, says was not authorized to speak. And the family member I spoke with tells me that DMX is still in ICU. He is breathing. He is very much alive, but they are asking for everyone's prayers. That's what everybody can do right now. That's the best thing. And also there is a statement that is expected, an official statement from the family that should be coming out later on this afternoon. So lock it into Fox 5 News at 6. I'll have that for you and I'll post it, what I get, as soon as I do right here on Instagram.
Cool.
So yeah, so that's the current state of Darkman X, aka Earl Simmons.
Yeah, man.
So we just keep him in our prayers. You know, some people weren't there for the wave of the DMX, and I understand. So you might be like, well, why is everyone so? Listen, man. When DMX came on the scene, it was a hurricane. You might have seen the 50 Cent era, but DMX was at times 10 because DMX had more impactful albums than 50 did.
I mean, how many albums did he sell at Def Jam?
Yo, at one point he dropped 2 albums in a calendar year. Both went platinum.
I haven't.
Number one.
Yep.
Don't quote me, but I read that he sold over 70-odd million copies in total.
Yeah.
In fact, he single-handedly at one point saved Def Jam.
Def Jam, yeah.
At one point in time when he was reigning, he was making them a lot of money
Without compromising his sound. That's
Yeah.
the other important thing. He kept it very gully.
Yeah. 7 albums. DMX again was one of my favorite artists.
Yeah.
He revolutionized a whole era, a whole movement, a whole sound. With obviously with what spawned after him. I feel like the Locks and what they call D Block, basically.
Yeah.
Even Ja Rule was just more of is almost became a parody of DMX voice, the way they looked dressed at one point. I felt like DMX set that tone for that style.
Bald-headed bandanas,
Yeah.
Tim's on,
Doesn't
unlucky
that
the
sound
F
like
out.
Tupac though?
Yeah, and so forth. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think
No.
Pac really thought that they were trying to be like him.
I think I feel you, and I'm sure most artists are influenced from someone else.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But obviously struggled with a lot of addiction, cocaine addiction. He said in an
Alcoholism.
in an interview, he said at the age of 13, which is on the record that I played, Slipping, that one of his mentors actually gave him crack cocaine for the first time, and he was really upset about it because he looked up to him.
Yeah.
And why would someone do that? Do you know what I mean? So we know he struggled with a lot. He's been so introspective with in his music. I want to reiterate what Drizzy has said. Listen, all our prayers go out for DMX. Prayers to his friends and his close family members, his children.
Man of God.
Yeah, man. And I just hope that he can turn this around and he can get back to full recovery. So yeah, man. Any more news while we're recording? Obviously, we'll give you an update. And yeah, man.
Yeah,
Earl
if you want to
Simmons.
see DMX in his like most recent light of being looking healthy and stuff, he did a good interview on the Drink Champs with Nori. He looked like he had an album in the works because he said he's got something with Pop Smoke coming out on his new. So he was definitely a shout out to Swiss, because Swiss knows a lot of his celebrity, a lot of his status, his financial freedom, etc. comes from working with DMX.
Yep.
And Swiss is always in his corner, and Swiss is always first to say, look, man, it's not this, it's that. Let my man just be. Give him time to, like, we'll talk about music later. Let's focus on his health. And so, yeah, that's my source. Unless I see Swiss post something to say it's this or that,
Yeah.
no news is good news.
Of
And if
course.
Swiss ain't posting it, except keep him in your prayers and we're here for you, dog. And that's all I need. Like, and I hope that's not how... Yeah, because 2020, we already had we lost Pop Smoke in 2020.
2020, yeah.
There's a lot of other MCs we lost in 2020. We lost Chadwick Boseman in 2020. Shout out to the King who's ascended, King T'Challa. Like, so let's hopefully it's just a case of it's a speed bump, because I see a lot of people judging as well. Oh, it's an addiction. So addiction doesn't always mean a misuse of drugs like cocaine and stuff like that. It could be you might have taken more than the required amount of your medication and it's just sent you into do you know what I mean? So let's not judge from our little, ivory towers, because, someone in your family might be doing the same, and,
Do you know what?
So-
People just need to have more empathy.
Yeah.
You get me? Clearly, he had problems.
Yeah.
Clearly, he had demons, but he was an incredible artist and he was a superstar.
Yes.
So with all those trappings and with all those things going on in your life, I couldn't imagine being in that position and having to deal with everything that he had to. So like the most important thing for me is that I pray for a speedy recovery and that he can come out of this in the best way possible. So, yeah,
It's crazy.
The world's a better place
He
with
had
him
the
in it,
world
man.
at his feet.
Yeah.
Imagine him doing that. He had to do the movie with Jet Li.
Yeah, he was doing a lot of Belly, obviously. It's just like a
Crazy.
cult classic.
Every opportunity was
Yeah,
just
he was.
just because of how he was as a person, and he always stayed true to himself. He never ever compromised that.
absolutely.
But he probably just needed some tough
Addiction
love.
and addiction and all.
He just needed some tough love, man. Maybe someone needed to, because Swiss can't be there all the time. As
Don't
Swiss blew
think
up, he was
never
doing his
got
own
that?
thing.
You don't think that people would have done that and said,
It's DMX. DMX, bruv. DMX is an intimidating
"Yeah, he's not
guy.
to be
Let's
checked."
keep
I
it-
get that,
But it's like, yo,
but-
dog, not today.
But you know what? You can like what I have learned in life. Some people are just who they are, man.
Yeah.
And only your life or things in your life can dictate what you do or how you're gonna change it. Do you see what I'm saying? So sometimes tragedies happen for you to learn from, or tragedies happen for you to actually think, you know what my friends and family have been saying is true.
Yeah.
But DMX seems to me like he's a single-minded person. And do you know what I mean? And there's so
Stubborn.
much you can do with somebody who has issues like that. So again, fast.
Yeah.
All I can say is just I pray that.
Let's
Yeah.
pray.
No.
It's a better.
Yeah.
The world's a
Just
better
pray-
place with him
just
in
pray
it,
for
man.
him.
So speedy recovery.
You are now listening to the Fast Food Podcast.
The Fast Food Podcast.